He got someone else to write it for him. And that was the whole point of the book and the exercise. I want to go through that and explain to you what it means. So Michael Gladwell, he wrote that it takes on average around 10,000 hours to become an expert in a field. That's probably correct. But not only just 10,000 hours, but 10,000 hours of correct best practices and really good at doing it. Because a lot of people can do 10,000 hours and still be really crap at what they do. And you've probably experienced, some people that are supposed to be experts that are bad. Some doctors are excellent that have done 10,000 hours, other doctors are poor, and anything in between. So what am I trying to get at here? Well, the fact of it is, if you want to be good at something, you need to spend a minimum of 10 hours of practicing your craft and becoming very good at it. Whether you want to be a good tennis player, or you want to be good at property investing, or you want to be a good businessman, anything like that. Now, the other fact is that we've only got a certain amount of time in our lives, in our day, in our week, and everything else like that. So because of that, you need to choose wisely. Very, very important, because you can't be an expert in everything. And especially the world at the moment, the way it's becoming more and more complex, it's getting harder and harder. So back in the old days, you could become an expert in everything if you paleo man, he went hunting, gathering, making fire, and simple stuff like that. And you could be an expert in everything and do everything. But these days, it's very different. Most people don't have a market garden in the back of their house and make their own food. Most people don't know how to make a TV using a smartphone. So most things you can't do yourself anyway. That's the fact of it. And if you try to do it yourself, you'd fail. Let's say, for example, I've got an Apple iPhone. Now, if I tried to design one and create one, I'm sure that I'd miserably fail. And you probably would too, unless you're an expert. And even with Apple iPhone, it probably takes a team of people to make it work. So the question is, the story about the guy who actually took out his own appendix. So in Antarctica, there was a Russian delegation there, and there was only one doctor, and he had appendicitis. And because it was going to take 6 months for the next boat to come pick him up, he had to operate on himself and take out his own appendix. Pretty horrific and pretty bad. But it goes to the thought of, okay, so when you need an operation, do you do a bit of research and study and do it yourself? Or do you hire an expert? You probably hire an expert, a doctor. So when you think about things in your life, what you really need to think is, okay, am I going to do a better job than expert? Because a lot of this got to do with ego. And this is what fascinates me, is people that go out there in the property, they're going to be an expert without 10,000 hours, and then they're going to choose their own property. There's 16,000 suburbs in Australia, and probably 39 different metrics, and choosing between these suburbs is vital, totally vital for your success. Seriously, if you pick the wrong property in the wrong area, that could potentially cost you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of equity that you're going to miss out on, right? It could be the difference between an amazing life in the future or a really desolate life. And I know this because I see people all the time that come in that have made a mistake and did it wrong, and they come and they're complaining and go, wow, we bought this property, we thought we knew what we were doing and everything else like that. A lot of people do that. Now, why would you invest in probably the biggest investment of your life? Your family home is probably the biggest investment. Investment property is the second biggest investment of your life. If you've got multiple properties, it's property. There's nothing else you spend more money on, nothing more that's going to change your life more than anything. Because property's changed my life completely. It really has. And I promise you, if you do it right, it'll change yours. Now, we've got over 2,000 members Australia-wide who are extremely successful, extremely grateful. And that's because they're using my 10, 20 hours of experience to help them there. Because I've had 10,000 hours in property, learning about property, and I have 10,000 hours helping people in property. So the fact of it is, I really know my shit when it comes to this. A lot of stuff I don't know people and help them get the best investment. I'm one of Australia's leading experts and most sought after commentators, and that's why you see me on Channel 9, Channel 7, realestate.com.au and all the property magazines, everything else like that. The reason I ask my opinion, because I know what I'm talking about. And my predictions are coming right in every time. My no-go zone that I printed 3 years ago is coming to fruition now, and COVID made it faster. I was telling people 10 years ago about how units were slowly going to drop over the next 10 years, and that's what they've been doing. And the last 6 months alone in Sydney and Melbourne, they dropped around 7 to 9%. Right, that's the rents, and obviously the price is going to drop as well because of that. So the fact of it is, not only have I had the 10,000 experience, I've proven it over and over again, time and time again. And, so the fact of it is, don't try to do it yourself. And you don't have to use me. That's fine. There's lots of experts out there. But find someone that has got the 10,000 hours experience, that has got the results, that can get you the results or got other people results. And that's what you should do. Or your other choice is, do it for 10,000 hours. Make all the mistakes and learn it yourself. Nothing wrong with that, but if you want to do it, that's what you need to do. I hire a videographer. Why? Oh, but to edit this, he's going to edit this. Now, why do I hire a videographer? Because he's got 10,000 experience at editing videos. He's going to do it much quicker, much better than I can. I'll just stuff around, get frustrated, and spend the day on the computer. So the real value of yourself as a person is to be in your area of genius. And if you want to be really good at property, because property is going to give you great rewards, but then quit what else you're doing and focus on property. But if you're a doctor, be good at being a doctor. If you're a lawyer, be good at being a lawyer. Be good at one thing, be an expert, and then hire people around you that are good at everything else. And that's the key. That's the real key to success, and that's the way it should be. So guys, that was probably my 2 bobs worth when it comes to, who, not how. And, you can push this to the next extreme, which what I'm doing is worth per hour. And then how much your learning experience is going to cost you. Because doing those 10,000 hours, you've got to calculate that. How much you're worth per hour? Calculate it by 10,000. That's how much it's going to cost you. And all the mistakes. Whether you want to be a doctor, whether you want to be a lawyer, whether you want to be into business, whether you want to be a property investor, it doesn't matter. And if you want to be a business owner and a property investor, then you need 10,000 in both areas. You want to be something else as well, then there's another 10,000. You want to be expert at working out, then another thing. So that's why I hire a PT. He's the one that runs the board. He needs to do that. And that's why I outsource everything I can, because I want to focus on what I'm good at. And what I'm good at is property and educating people and coaching. And that's what I love. But so it's genius. So at the end of the day, if you love it, you're great at it, the world needs it, you get paid for it, that is your real purpose in life. And that's what we should be going towards, no matter what. So I really think, you've got, person that works for a job, you've got self-employed, then you've got business, and then you've got investor. And that investor place, that's where, no matter who you are, whether you're in a job, whether you're self-employed, or whether you own a business, at the end of the day, where we want to be is investor. Because investor is when you make money passively. You make money whether you're asleep or you're awake. And that's where I got myself to, before I started this business, and it's a good place to be. Like last year alone, I made over $1 million in property without getting out of bed. And I tell you that because once your investments make you more than what you can make awake, or if you make more when you're asleep, then you can do what you love and not do what you don't love. So anything I don't like doing, I outsource and delegate. Because once you've got enough money, that creates free time, and it basically fixes most problems. Dan Sullivan, my coach, the guy that wrote Who Not How, said if you have enough money, you don't have any problems because you can solve it. If you find out who, not how. That's what it's all about. So find out who's your who in each area. Find out who's your who and not how if you want to get success. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.